Howdy, y'all. This is Missus Snarky's version of Ordinary Virtue. Now, this is a contemplation that I went through while going through paperwork, which I absolutely hate. I hate anything adulting, especially when it comes to financial stuff, which typically the paperwork is bills and just bleh, awful things. And it just stresses me out so much because they pile up and it gets so overwhelming. But lately, I've been trying to find time to reflect as I sift through this, what seems to be eternal garden of responsibility, and I realized just how much progress I've made before I even knew it. Time passed me by so quickly, and I felt accomplished by this. Simply having the ability to sort it all out, and having the freedom to climb this mount of stress, was quite comforting. It sort of reminds me of the tale of Sisyphus, who was hexed into an eternal existence of mundane labor by the gods, of pushing a huge rock up a hill, only to turn around and have to do it all over again because, of course, the stone rolled back down again. Gravity for you. So he's hexed into this eternal existence of mundane labor, only to have his attainment never realized. He never gets the boulder to the top of the hill. And of course, Albert Camus summed it up best when he said, "One must imagine Sisyphus happy." Now, to apply some new Stoics to this situation, let's examine what was within my control in this circumstance and how I may best respond to it. Now, the main virtues that I hold in high regard are the ones of wisdom, courage, moderation, and justice, also known as the cardinal virtues. I can say on all of these I have often failed quite miserably, but remember, there are no sages among us, but only those who strive towards sagedom. The ability to sort through these bills is within my control in this circumstance. Now, if I don't do this task, I won't be in alignment with my virtues, because if they're not completed, they can result in impositions on the ones I care about for them to go to work and school, them not eating well. They might seem mundane, but the number one medical breakthrough was hand washing. Saved a lot of lives just by not cross-contaminating things, which I consider as a qualifier for an ordinary but important task. Now, I might dread looking at this pile, but this task is a definite need, so it is within my power to fulfill that need. It was time well spent to accomplish this task, despite how mundane it may seem to me emotively. It's upon further examination that I have come to this conclusion, especially when I ponder the times that I failed to fulfill this duty, often resulted in painful financial situations, not an outcome a person of wisdom would wish to behold again. Another way this goes against my virtue is it doesn't fulfill my duties as a citizen in the world. My family's well-being is my duty, and it would be unjust for me to not fulfill my obligations to debts as well. Though I might find it kind of scary to look through my bills, I still have to find the courage that it takes to face my responsibilities like an adult. Moderation is also a key component of managing anything, especially when it comes to bills. I must realize there are things I cannot afford this week because I gotta pay the electric bill first. While these tasks may seem tedious, time-consuming, and sometimes absolutely distasteful, like scrubbing toilets, I find time to imagine, to think, and to consider some of the wisest advice I've ever read, like Epictetus. The chief task in life is simply this: to identify and separate matters so that I can clearly say to myself which are externals, not under my control, and which have to do with the choices I actually control. Where then do I look for good and evil? Not to uncontrollable externals, but within myself to the choices that are my own. Or Marcus Aurelius. You don't have to turn this into something. It doesn't have to upset you. Things can't shape our decisions by themselves. And when you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to think, to enjoy, to love. And while I ponder this, I think about how much my mundane, ordinary tasks are accomplishing. They give me time to reflect on these wise things. And knowing that I've done my best to align my actions with principle makes me feel so much relief from the stress of task. Knowing I have done the best I can do in these situations really helps me let go of stuff that was out of my control, like the arrival of bills. And that, my friends, is a moment to appreciate to the full extent. Thank you to the New Stoics for including me in this endeavor. This was a lot of fun, and thank you for all the hard work. Stoic on!